Thank you so much for tuning in to today's edition of News Desk. We start off on a rather sad note. Many people in and around the West Mamprusi district are running for their lives as floods resulting from torrential rains have submerged a whole community. Homes, livestock, farms and a major road have been heavily flooded in this latest incident. The MC for the area, Aremeyao Somolaki, broke down in tears at the sight of the extent of havoc caused by the floods. He and an MPP executive, including another resident, have been speaking to JoyNews.
I've been saddened today by heavy rain that has caused a lot of havoc to the people of West Mamprusi, especially the people of Gajini, Benawa, and the other communities. Yesterday night we have a severe rain that came. It was very disturbing. As a result, it affected the Diani Dam that has split off. In splitting off, affected communities like Tinkaya. This early morning, we were crying for the good people of Tinkaya, not knowing that it was going to extend. Tinkaya and Dimia, not knowing that it was going to extend to Gabini. As we speak, all the houses in Gabini have been submerged. Others have collapsed. The water, they can't take anything outside the community. You can see that some are still falling. That is the calamity that has befallen us. We are working tirelessly to see how best we can support these people who are in this difficult situation at this difficult time. We have asked that gather all their items and send to the district assembly. And I mean, in the short term, we have to look at measures that we can use to accommodate them. Probably we have to talk to some landlords in Wale and other communities to accommodate the people for the meantime. Whilst in the medium term, we look at how best we can solve the problem of the spillage of the dam. Then in the long term, we look at how best we can resettle the people very well. And we pray that as government will put on all measures to see to it that this social disaster will not happen again so far as the municipality is concerned. We are with them. We are here this morning to see how the problem will be resolved. That this is a natural disaster where we don't have any solution as we speak. We are calling on the experts. I've called the regional minister, then the regional NADMO directors, and I've also informed the headquarters accordingly. Who are also looking at how best we can even divide the route where the water can pass to the other side. But with that one, we have to seek permission from the highways authority. I think that will be a short-term measure for us to resolve the problem. We are with them. We can see that they are suffering. We are also suffering. We are calling on all foreign enterprises, government and other parastatal agencies to come to our aid and support the good people of Gajini, Tinkaya and Dimia to go out of this problem. This is a serious disaster. I haven't seen this before in my life. This is the first time. And as MCE, empathize with the people who will do our best as government to see how best we can support them. This is a serious problem that needs everybody's attention. We call on all those who can support us to resolve this problem for us. Also call on the government and other parastatal agencies to come to the aid and see how best we can solve it. We are putting all measures in place to see how best this will be resolved. In the meantime, we'll still be battling the water with the people. Then we'll see how God will intervene. We are praying. We need God's intervention. We need government intervention. We need everybody's intervention. This is the time for us to come together, to unite among ourselves to solve the problem. This particular time that issues are aggravating. It is not stopping now. We have to do something. We have to do something as quickly as possible. Thank you.
My colleague in the Northeast region, Ilyasu Tanko, joins us live with more. Ilyasu, so tell us how many people, if you've been able to establish in numbers, have been affected by the floods?
Well, now we are talking about 4 communities, and as I talk to you now, about 1,000 residents are evacuating desperately from their communities. As we speak, the communities that are closer to the main road are splitting the road with heavy equipment. They are using hose and other equipment to cut the main Wale Nalergu road so that they will make way for the water to pass. Many authorities have arrived. The MCA is here with his entourage, party executives. They are also here. The NADMO officials are here. Police and other security services continue to come to the Gagbini community, which is the epicenter of this morning disaster. As I talk to you, the main Wale Nalergu road has been cut off. Dozens and dozens of travelers are stranded. People are also coming from the municipal capital because this is just closer to the municipal capital. Lots more residents are running from the municipal capital to have a look at what is happening to their brothers in these communities. And the water keeps coming. I mean, people are desperately still getting into the flood waters, trying to salvage their belongings.
But Eliasu, just about that bit, is there anybody facilitating the evacuation process and telling these residents to, focus on their lives than the items they are trying to salvage? I can understand that it may have cost them years to gather that, but is there anybody facilitating this evacuation process?
Yes, like I said, the MC and his team have arrived, and they are making sure that, what happened is that this morning, a lot of community members left their homes to attend a funeral nearby. And so when the situation happened, a lot of them were not at home, only few women and children, and they could not salvage a lot of things. So the information got to them, and they are here currently, and they are so desperate. It's nearly impossible to stop them getting into the water to salvage their belongings.
There's NADMO on the ground. Do we have NADMO?
Exactly. The regional NADMO is here. The MC is here. The police are also here, and they are all trying to ensure that people are safe. It's a very difficult situation to control.
Please hang in there for me. I'll come back to you shortly, but we can now hear from some of the affected residents.
This morning, as around early dawn, the whole community was taken over by water, and we all suspect it is the Yani Dam that has already given way, including the Guabulga Dam. So the whole community now has been flooded. People are evacuating their livestock and properties onto the main road. So we need an urgent solution to it. We need a way of people coming with an excavator to create a way for the water to pass and leave the community. Yes, I am Alaji Jacob Pantake, MPP chairman.
So what will you be doing now? Because
right now I'm getting back to the assembly to inform the municipal coordination director and then the MC, so that they will rush here and we'll see what antidote we can put onto it. In fact, the people are desperate. There is no way they can control the situation. The road, the water has even taken over the road. That is crossing the road from Gagbini to the other side of the road. If we are not careful, the place will now become impassable for passengers coming from Nalergo and those coming from Walwali side to the other end. So Gagbini is in a terrible situation. Most of the houses, I know within the next 30 or 40 minutes will start collapsing. Yes, the whole town is flooded. The next community is Katabanawa, and all the water is moving there. So I won't be surprised if that community too is flooded. So I'm just rushing back to the assembly to see the municipal chief executive and the coordinating director, so that we see what immediate solution we can put to get way for the water to leave and leave the community. All right. This morning.
We'll hear more from the residents, but now we've been joined by MC for the area, Aremeyao Somo Laki. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It must be a very difficult moment for you, and we saw you literally break down in front of the cameras. But more importantly, we understand that the flood is spreading to other communities. What proactive measures are we taking to save lives and property there?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. As we speak, we are now conveying some of the belongings of the people to the West Mamprusi Municipal Assembly, where we can immediately, in the immediate time, we look at how best we can get their property being saved at the Municipal Assembly. We have also brought in the security to take control of issues that have to do with theft, so far as this particular situation is concerned. Currently, we are digging through the road so that the water can pass by. Then the next community, Banawa, will not also be flooded like the other communities. As we speak, the water has reached Banawa, which has a population of almost 1,000 in the municipality. So if we make a mistake, those people will be washed out. So we are now taking measures now to make sure we cut the road across so that the water can pass, which will not affect the people of Banawa. Already, Gas Dimia, they have been submerged in water. The entire community of Gas Dimia has fallen because of the water. So what we are doing now is that we are trying to see how best we can evacuate the people out and get a short-term solution for them, where we can even talk to the people of Waliwali, for some of them to accommodate them. We have to look at the medium-term and long-term solution to nip this thing in the bud. That is what we are doing now. Okay, now you were saying earlier, we heard you in that video say, this is the first time you've seen anything like this. We heard from the one of the MPP executives in the area, and he suspects that a dam or two dams may have given way. Have you confirmed that? Yes, please. And so, and so this is not as a result of just the rains. It is not only the rain. You know, the dam has gotten to its highest capacity. Then it has to spill off. And that is what is affecting us now. It's actually, one of them started about a week ago or two, where we came in and we were able to rescue the people. But whilst we were trying to look at how best we can resolve the situation, the rain continues in the north. As we speak, last night up to the morning, we have had a very severe rain in Waliwali and East Environ. Okay. And that has even caused this particular problem. Mr. Ramaya, sorry, let me just clarify this from you. And so there are two dams that have given way now. Okay. Yes. Now, is it that the dams on their own gave way, or the water was spilled by managers of the dam? Yes, it is the water that was spilled off by the managers by the dam, because the dam got its fullest capacity, and that is why the water spilled off from the dam. So the dam gave way. It wasn't deliberately spilled. Yes, please. Yes, please. Okay, but what have management or managers of these dams been telling you with regards to the future? Yes, what we in the future, what we are looking at is how best we can revisit the dam. Some of them were constructed during the Kwame Nkrumah's time, and at that time we rehabilitated them, because this is something that we have we have seen before, but it is not up to how the magnitude is not like what we are experiencing now. So we have done some kind of rehabilitations on them. But this year rain, coupled with the spillage of the Bagre Dam, has just changed everything. It has spoiled all our plans, and it has exposed us that we need to do more than what we have been doing. So we are looking at, in the long term, how we can resolve the issue without it having any effect on the people. That is by getting people who knows how to manage the situation for us. I am not a technical man. Who will have to get people who knows much about this particular job, and then we'll give them the opportunity. The government will support for us to make sure that we get the issue solved once and for all. I'm not sure we'll experience this thing again, but this is a signal that we have to sit up and look at it and make sure we work on it once and for all, so that our people's lives will not be jeopardized in the future. Quickly, as we wrap up our conversation, has any of your members within the MCE taken the lead into the communities that we suspect this may spread to warn them, or to putting any measures to prevent the magnitude of the disaster we are seeing? We are taking now is to evacuate the people out of the various communities to Waliwali, which is a nearby community. Even the communities that have not been affected, you are evacuating? Yes, okay. We are over there. And now the last community, as we are speaking, it has also been affected now. The water has, as we speak, I'm even inside the water while speaking. Because I'm in the last community that we were trying to salvage them. The water has reached there too. So the measures we are taking now is to make sure that we cut gutters across for water to flow, so that it will not affect them much. That's the situation we find ourselves now.
All right, thank you very much for your time. Marimea Osumolaki is MC for West Mamprusi, and he's just been sharing with us their plans on how to rescue persons who have been affected. My colleague Ilyasu Tanko is still on the line. Ilyasu, just quickly tell us, so we understand that the roads are being worked on so that the water can recede. So what's the current situation with regards to commuters on that stretch?
Well, they are stranded. It appears this information, people are not aware of what is happening. And so people keep coming. Vehicles keep coming, and they are parked at other side of the place that has been cut off, the Dagbini communities. Hundreds of communities, commuters, I can say, are stranded. I spoke to a gentleman who said they were agric officials going to one of the communities to have some education with the farmers. They are also stranded. More people continue to come, but it's impossible for them to pass.
Elias, we'll leave it here for now and get more details and as the day goes. But let's hear from more of the residents.
We'll see what immediate solution we can put to get way for the water to leave and leave the community. All right. As we can all see what is happening by the roadside, the community just got up this morning and the whole community is submerged with water. A spillage over from the Bagri Dam that is causing this havoc here. There's another community ahead called Dimia. The dam over there has also broken, and that particular community too is completely submerged. As we can all see, the houses are falling inside the water. It's a terrible situation, unprecedented. We've never observed this before. And then the road as well, the main road from here linking to the regional capital has been cut off. Vehicles cannot pass through. So we are currently stranded here. We as a party have arranged a vehicle to be conveying the people and the limited foodstuffs that they've been able to salvage from their damaged homes to the nearby community, Walawale, the district capital. There's no place for them to be saved apart from getting to Walawale, which is just about 2.5 kilometers away from the community. As you can hear, the houses are falling.
Yeah, and so that's being flooded. And this is our first time of seeing such a thing. Last it came, but it wasn't this way, and we don't know why. We learned some these rivers, the bundles of rivers have got broken, so that is the cause of those these things. So I mean, you can see yourself, everything is flooded. Even we those standing here, we are risking our life. The water can come and take us out. So now we don't have anything to do. We are appealing to the government to come for aid. It's from the Guabriga side, and that place too is being destroyed. It's good you go there and cover that yourself. That place is being destroyed. So there's not even road for you to go to that place. The whole area is covered with water. So, all right.
Where are you going?
We do research with farmers. But because of the flood, we cannot continue.
The flood? Why? You can't cross?
Yeah, we can cross the bridge from Walewale to Dimia or from Dagbini to Dimia is cut off, so we can't cross. That is why we are just by
So you are going back?
Because of the floods, that has caused a lot of people stranded here, as you can see even around. Everybody is stranded, they are trying to cross. Even the community that is just by the roadside here is falling. If you look at the houses, just tell you look at the houses. They are all falling. The community people are in the mess of the water. And so I think life is paramount. We are only praying that maybe NADMOS will come on board to help the people, at least save their lives. So far, their things are in the mess of the water. Yes, that is what I have seen so far, even though I'm also a traveler. Yeah. But if you want more information, get the community members and they'll give you more.
So that's the news you're picking up this morning. Unfortunately, many persons have had to evacuate their homes in the West Mamprusi district. My colleague Kojo Yankson returned from a tour of the northern part of the country as a result of floods that happened earlier. Indeed. Just when we thought the people's lives were getting back to normal and they were recovering, this has hit us, Kojo. And that's why we have the Up to Us campaign. Absolutely. We need to help our brothers and sisters up north.
Yes, it's become apparent that it is indeed up to us. The state institutions are scrambling, but there is some time lag in their operational response. And so it has become necessary for all of us to come together and do something for these people. When I was there in the north, I met a woman who hadn't changed her clothes in a week.
Wow.
Because she lost everything when the floods took away her home a couple of days before I got there. So we learned these very human, very sad stories of people who have lost everything. That is what we are observing happening in these communities in the northeastern region, just about 20 kilometers outside Wale Wale. And if you think about it, these are communities that normally are on dry land. They are not near a river or any such thing. They are by a road. The women in these villages, they sell charcoal on the roadside. You see them when you're driving past. These are the people who are now wading in waist-deep water. You know, they're not used to this. They're not used to swimming. People are scrambling to save even the smallest of items. We were listening to Eliasu give us live commentary of a man struggling against the moving current to save his buta. And at the very end of it, I mean, our hearts were in our throats listening to Eliasu narrate this. And at the very end of it, he just said, he's got the buta. He's got the buta. And we all heaved a sigh of relief across the nation. This is how this thing has affected us all. And it's become necessary for us to step up and do what we can to help these people at their most vulnerable. We heard from a woman today called Fati, who's a widow. Her husband died. She has no children. She decided to do something for herself. So she borrowed 4,000 Ghana cedis. That is a fortune to her. She borrowed 4,000 Ghana cedis to start a shea butter business. Bought the shea butter, and the water has just washed it away. In the community of Babeni that we've been hearing from. Okay, and she was in tears, terrified that she's now going to be hounded by her creditors. You know, so these are the people whose lives will basically be shattered if we don't intervene.
And let me just say this, Kojo, that we expect that you can support with the very little that you have. I remember listening to you sometime last week and somebody sent 2 CDs via Momo. It may look insignificant to you, but 2 CDs added to another person's 2 CDs and another can go a long way to help somebody, give them some water to drink and help them. I just also want to also quickly say that items are welcome.
Yes.
If you've got fairly used clothing in very good condition, we would accept that. And let me just go quickly, Kojo, back to the affected area. John Kweku Alasan is on the ground. He's the NADMO regional director in the Northeast region, and he joins us with some details of what they're doing. Thank you very much, sir, for joining the program. We understand that you are evacuating people, and just give us some, bring us up to speed with where you are with that now.
Currently, I'm at the scene with my men on the ground and the police. We are trying to prevent the people from crossing, and we are finding it difficult. It's not been easy at all.
When you say preventing which people, though the commuters, travelers, or residents in the affected communities?
Yes, the commuters. Some people are coming from Wale Wale and they are trying to cross to Nalerigu.
Okay.
Those are also coming from Nalerigu. They are trying to cross to Wale Wale. And the water level keeps on increasing.
And they do not want to heed your advice?
Pardon?
You said they don't want to heed your advice.
Yes. So we are just doing our best. We are here with the police. So we just called the regional police command to send some men to come and assist us from preventing them from crossing. Okay, so those who've been affected in the communities, where are you sending them to? Please, where I'm standing now, it's even difficult to tell you what is actually happening because we are just at the one side of the place. We can't even get access to the other area. Okay, have you called? You say you're calling the police for reinforcement, but NADMO as an organization, have you called for reinforcement or support from your other regional counterparts? Yeah, we've done that. Like I said, we are just preventing the people from those who are coming from Wale Wale from crossing to Nalerigu, and those who are coming from Nalerigu from crossing to Wale Wale. So that's what we are doing currently. All right. So how many communities are we talking about here? Oh no, I can't give you any figure because what we are doing now is to make sure that lives are not lost.
Okay.
So that's what we are doing at the moment. We don't want to have any casualty.
But do you have all that you need to help the people? I'm seeing that you're saying the water level is rising, and I'm sure at a point you will need canoes or other means to reach the community. Do you have what it takes?
Oh no, we for now, if they don't cross, I don't think we'll have any problem. But if they try to cross, that is when the problem will come. But we are making sure that they don't cross at all.
All right. Okay. We wish you all the best, Mr. Kwekwala Hassan is NANMO Director of the Northeast Region, and clearly you can get from his reaction and response, Kojo, that they are still trying to figure a way around this. But we're just wrapping up on our conversation on why we must step up and support our brothers in the North. Just quickly, as we wrap up the conversation, Kojo.
What we've tried to do is bring the human stories so that we can all understand and situate ourselves in what is happening there, because that's what will make us understand the need to come to people's aid when we can imagine it happening to us. And what has happened to these people is terrible. In the northern region, we went to a community called Nawuni, where I met a fisherman. His fishing net, his traps, all of them washed away. So he can't feed his family. So he and his family are now sheltered in a school, and it's only the kindness of strangers that feeds them, because he has no other way of getting them food. So you can imagine there are hundreds of these people. In the northeast region alone, 15,000 people are displaced, according to a report that was commissioned by NANMO. So you start to see that these are people who, if we don't step up and do something for them, they have no option. They have no hope. There are people right now in the community that we have been highlighting. The water is rising, even where they have taken their belongings to keep dry on the road. The water is now flooding that road. You know, so where are they going to go? If somebody doesn't go there, move them away and keep them somewhere safe and dry and sustain them until their homes can be restored. That's up to us.
Definitely.
That is up to us.
Definitely is up to us. And we are appealing that you support our campaign to reach our brothers and sisters in the North. And definitely children are affected by this. Thankfully, we don't have any casualties in this latest incident. We pray it will stay so. Thank you very much, Kojo Yankson. Keep up the good